And I'm Kirk Smith, and I am excited to bring to you a very, I think, impactful and insightful series about marriage. Marriage is a good idea. The ideal of marriage is a good thing, and I believe that marriage was God's idea from the beginning, and all God has is good ideas. And so I want to talk to you about marriage and how important marriage is, and why I think that it is a good idea. And I think throughout this series, you'll have some insights and things that you can use and you can play over and over. So I would recommend that you and your spouse would go get or maybe fiance or someone you hoping to marry someday, or if it's just you by yourself right now, that you would go grab a cup of coffee or some hot tea or hot chocolate and gather around the computer screen or the television screen, whatever setup you have, and really tune in because I think this insight will be very, very helpful and something that you can use for many, many years to come. And even some of the things that I say now may not be relevant to you now, today. It may not be something that you find necessary to know, but believe me, if you are married, you have any intentions on being married, some of this stuff will definitely be needed down the road. And for those of you who've been married, you know that marriage is not easy. It's not for the weak, but it's one of the greatest institutions on earth. There's probably nothing greater than being able to spend your life with someone that loves you for you, someone that you can love for them. And marriage is a good idea. It's a good thing. And I kind of look at marriage more like if I could choose an appliance that I could say would be a good illustration, a metaphor for marriage would be an oven. And although an oven takes a while, and you have to wait till it gets to the right temperature, it produces some great things once the oven is right. It's not like a microwave. It's not quick. It takes time. You have to be patient. It's probably more like a slow cooker sometimes. But I can tell you, marriage is a wonderful thing. It makes your life better. It can mitigate risk emotionally, socially. It can also help ameliorate problems that may come up over time when you are in a good, sound marriage. And so with this series, I want this series to encourage you. Maybe you were married before and things didn't work out. Well, you know what? That happens. Sometimes we marry the wrong person or the wrong person marries us. Whatever the case may be, sometimes that happens. And it happens at different periods in life. Sometimes when we're young, we don't think, or we get a little older and we think this is the right person. The truth of the matter is that many people are excited about marriage, and while they think marriage is great, the idea of marriage is great, they have no interest in being a spouse. And being a spouse is not simply just being married from a ceremonial standpoint or from a presentation standpoint or just because you have a ring on your finger. But a spouse is all about behavior and the way you act and the way you treat that person when you're with them and when you're not. What are your thoughts of that person? Do you put that person above yourself? I mean, being a spouse can be a challenge. It's all about compromise and not having your way all the time. And so throughout this series, we'll touch on a number of things that I'll speak directly to wives and directly to husbands. And I think you'll be able to get something out of this. I've been married 24 years. And I can tell you right now, as great as my wife is, we've had some difficult times. As great as I think I am, I know that I've caused her some difficulty. But the fact of the matter is, again, that marriage is a good thing. It's a good idea. Sometimes you fall on hard times, and maybe in your marriage right now, you may be having a difficult time. And, you hit some rocky places, some rocky spots sometimes in your marriage. You've heard the term, our marriage is on the rocks, and that certainly happens. But you know what? I think about water that comes from a river or ocean when it rolls into the shore and it rolls on the rocks. But then eventually the water goes back into the ocean and gets back into the flow of things. And I believe that trouble doesn't last always. I think these storms will pass. Just because the days are sunny doesn't mean it'll never rain. But just because it's raining doesn't mean that there aren't sunny days ahead. And I believe that if you love this person loves you, you can withstand just about anything within a marriage. And I know for us, my wife and I, it came down to prayer. It came down to us trusting God to get us through some very difficult times. And we're grateful and we're thankful that we're together. I think that as the years pass, it's better to be married than to be apart, if at all possible. Sometimes it's not possible. And some of us get married and we're not ready. And I encourage folks regularly, don't marry your girlfriend, don't marry your boyfriend. And what that means is when you get married, that is not your boyfriend. That is not your girlfriend. That is your spouse. You are one with that person. So behavior has to change. Rules have to change. You don't come and go as you please. You don't hang out with whomever you choose. You have to be careful in terms of your friendships. You know, if I get married, then I understand that all my pre-existing relationships either need to be eradicated altogether or renegotiated. Because the rules have changed, because now I have this person in my life that's more important than anything. And for those of you who are married and have children, the two of you have to be even more important than your children. See, because if you two love each other, you two are a big deal to each other, then it trickles down to the children. And when you raise your children and they grow up, they're going to move away, and then you're going to look at each other. And we know 50% of all first marriages fail, 75% of all second marriages fail, and third and fourth marriages are off the chart. And many marriages fail once kids grow up and you get that empty nest and you look at each other and you don't know what to do with each other because it's been about the kids all these years. No, it has to be about you two, the two of you. And so with this series, we're going to hit some topics, and we're going to be honest and tell the truth. And I would encourage you again, cuddle up. Maybe again, your soon-to-be husband or wife. Maybe you guys can sit together. Your current husband or wife sit together, around the computer or the television, and take heed and rewind and fast forward and go back and go forth. But the insight, I think, is critical, and I think some of the information that I'll share with you can be very, very useful for many years to come. So let's get excited. Let's get pumped up. A lot of good information is on its way. God bless you.